Welcome, film fans, cinephiles, and horror movie lovers, to another spine tingling episode of Real Talk. I'm your host, Josh Bell, and today we're diving deep into the chilling and thought provoking world of cinema. Our focus today is on a film that is not for the faint of heart: Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. In this episode, we'll just be dissecting the cinematic masterpiece that is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. This film takes an unapologetic and raw approach to storytelling and visual aesthetics, leaving an indelible mark on all who dare to watch it. We'll explore its gritty cinematography, unravel its harrowing narrative, and discuss the performances that make it a chilling and unforgettable experience. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a disturbing gaze into the darkness of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer is a chilling and unflinching exploration of the life of Henry, a disturbed and enigmatic man who becomes a serial killer. The film follows Henry as he drifts through a bleak and gritty urban landscape, leaving a trail of violence and death in his wake. Henry's life is marked by a lack of remorse or empathy. He carries out his gruesome acts with a cold and calculated demeanor. The film offers a stark and unfiltered look at the mind of a serial killer, as well as the impact of his actions and what they do to those who cross his path. As the story unfolds, viewers are confronted with the harsh realities of violence and the disturbing psychology of a serial killer. Henry is a stark and unsettling journey into the depths of human darkness, offering a haunting glimpse into the mind of a killer without delving into sensationalism or gratuitous violence. So, first, let's look at the cinematic aesthetic of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. This is a film that delves deep into the darkest corners of the human psyche, offering a unique and unsettling experience. The aesthetics of this film, this 1986 horror thriller, are worth exploring in detail. First, the raw realism. The one of the most striking aspects of Henry is its raw and unflinching portrayal of violence and psychopathy. The film's aesthetics are intentionally gritty and unpolished, creating a documentary-like quality that draws the viewer into the disturbing world of the protagonist. The use of handheld cameras and natural lighting enhances the sense of realism, making the audience feel like a voyeur in a chilling ride. The minimalist score, the film's soundtrack, or lack thereof, contributes to its unique aesthetics. Henry deliberately avoids a traditional musical score, relying on ambient sounds and silence to create an eerie and unsettling atmosphere. The absence of music amplifies the tension and discomfort, leaving the audience with a haunting sense of unease. Its character centric storytelling. The film's aesthetics are deeply rooted in its character focused approach. Henry doesn't rely on elaborate set pieces or grandiose visuals. Instead, it places the characters at the forefront, emphasizing their psychological complexities. The close up shots and intense character interactions bring out the disturbing nature of the story and its main character, Henry. Cinema verite influence. Henry draws inspiration from the cinema verite movement, which aims to capture reality as it is. This influence can be seen in the film's handheld camera work and unscripted feeling, giving the impression that the events are unfolding in real time. This choice of aesthetics blurs the line between fiction and reality, making the horror all the more visceral. Its dark and dreary visuals. The film's aesthetics are marked by a dark and grim visual style. The urban settings, often shot at night, create a sense of foreboding and claustrophobia. The use of low key lighting and shadows adds to the film's atmosphere of dread and serves as a visual metaphor for the darkness within the characters. Henry stands out for its commitment to realism and its unsettling aesthetics. The film's raw, minimalist, and character driven approach along with its cinema verite influence, creates a chilling and immersive experience that leaves a lasting impact on the audience. It's a prime example of how aesthetics can be used to enhance a narrative's psychological and emotional impact. Next, let's take a deep dive into the psychological horror. This is not just a film, it's a harrowing journey into the depths of psychological horror. This 1986 cult classic was directed by John McNaughton, and it pushes the boundaries of the genre by exploring the terrifying world of a remorseless serial killer. First, it's a character study. At its core, Henry is just a study of its titular serial killer, based on and influenced by the real life serial killer Henry Lee Lucas. The film offers a chilling glimpse into the mind of a psychopath, meticulously depicting his lack of empathy and the cold, calculating nature of his crimes. Henry's character is the embodiment of evil, and the movie's success in creating a realistic and horrifying portrayal contributes significantly to its psychological horror. There's a lack of motivation. Unlike many conventional horror films, Henry doesn't rely on supernatural elements or elaborate backstories to explain its antagonist's actions. Henry's motivations are left ambiguous, which adds to the unease. The absence of a clear rationale for his heinous acts underscores the randomness and unpredictability of real life violence, making it all the more terrifying. There's moral ambiguity. The film doesn't just focus on the killer, it also delves into the moral ambiguity of those surrounding him. Henry's roommate, Otis, is drawn into this world, and the audience is left questioning the extent of his culpability. This moral gray area blurs the line between good and evil, further unsettling the viewer. The absence of redemption. In most horror films, there's an expectation that the antagonist will be defeated or face some form of redemption. Henry subverts this expectation. There is no heroic figure who saves the day, and the film ends on a bleak note, leaving the audience with a sense of hopelessness. The realism and voyeurism. The film's aesthetic choices, resembling the cinema verite, create a sense of realistic voyeurism. Viewers are placed in the uncomfortable position of observing these brutal events as if they were real. This immersion contributes to the psychological horror by making the audience feel complicit in the violence. Sound and silence. The use of ambient sounds and silence in the absence of a traditional score is particularly effective in creating a tense and unsettling atmosphere. The absence of music enhances the realism and amplifies the psychological horror. The disturbing subject matter. Henry does not shy away from depicting gruesome violence. The explicit nature of the crimes and their matter of fact presentation adds to the psychological horror. The film forces the audience to confront the darkest aspects of humanity. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, is a masterclass in psychological horror. It accomplishes this through a combination of chilling character study, moral ambiguity, the absence of redemption, an unsettling sense of realism, and the depiction of disturbing subject matter. It's a film that lingers on the mind, leaving a lasting impression of the horrors that can exist in the real world. Next, the compelling but unsettling performances. Henry is known for its compelling yet deeply unsettling performances, which play a central role in the film's ability to immerse viewers in its disturbing world. Let's take a closer look at the standout performances that make this cult classic so memorable. First, we have Michael Rooker as Henry Lee Lucas. Michael Rooker's portrayal of the titular character Henry is nothing short of mesmerizing. He brings a sense of chilling authenticity to the role, making Henry a deeply unsettling figure. Rooker's ability to convey the character's lack of empathy and the cold, emotionless demeanor is remarkable. He doesn't sensationalize the character, but instead delivers a performance that feels disturbingly real, leaving the audience both captivated and repulsed. Tom Tolles as Otis. Tom Tolles, who plays Henry's roommate Otis, delivers a performance that is equally disturbing. Otis becomes entangled in Henry's world, and Tolles portrays the character's moral decay and descent into darkness with an eerie intensity. His chemistry with Rooker on screen is palpable and adds to the film's unsettling atmosphere. Tracy Arnold as Becky. Tracy Arnold's portrayal of Becky, Otis's sister, adds a contrasting dimension to the film. Her character provides a glimpse of normalcy in the otherwise disturbing world. Arnold's performance, marked by vulnerability and fear, highlights the stark contrast between Becky and the other characters, making her all the more sympathetic. Then the rest of the supporting cast, while the film primarily revolves around Henry, Otis, and Becky, the supporting cast delivers convincing performances. They portray characters who are caught up in the periphery of this horrifying world, and their fear and unease feel genuine, adding to the film's overall impact. In Henry, the performances are not about showcasing virtuosity, but about creating a visceral and unsettling experience. The actors embrace their roles with a level of commitment that allows the audience to suspend disbelief and become fully immersed in the narrative. Their ability to portray characters who are morally ambiguous, broken, and deeply disturbed is what makes the film a psychologically haunting experience. The compelling and unsettling performances in Henry are a testament to the talent and dedication of the cast, and they play a pivotal role in making the film the cult classic that it is today. Next is The Sound of Dread. In Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, the sound design plays a crucial role in creating the atmosphere of dread and unease. The film's use of sound is subtle, yet highly effective, contributing significantly to the overall psychological horror. Let's look at how sound is used to evoke a sense of dread in this classic. First, as I've mentioned before, is the absence of a traditional musical score. One of the most striking features of the film's sound design is the almost complete absence of a traditional musical score. Instead, the film relies on ambient sound and silence to build tension. This choice heightens the realism of the film, making it feel like you're eavesdropping on real events rather than watching a scripted narrative. The lack of music also prevents the audience from finding comfort in familiar horror cues, intensifying the sense of unpredictability. The film makes extensive use of ambient sounds and background noise to immerse the audience in the environment. The sounds of city life, such as traffic, sirens, and distant voices, become an integral part of the film's auditory landscape. These sounds add a layer of dissonance, creating a sense of chaos and danger that permeates the entire narrative. Silence is a powerful tool in creating dread. Henry strategically uses moments of silence to build tension and anticipation. These quiet moments are often juxtaposed with sudden, shocking acts of violence, intensifying the impact of these scenes. The absence of sound in these moments is as unsettling as the most jarring noise. Now, while there might not be a traditional score, the film does feature an ambient score and synth music at certain points. The music, when used sparingly, adds to the film's eerie and unsettling atmosphere. It doesn't offer comfort or relief, but instead accentuates the psychological horror. Diegetic sounds, such as clinking of glasses in a bar or the hum of a television in the background, provide a sense of realism. These everyday sounds, when juxtaposed with the film's dark subject matter, create a stark contrast that enhances the sense of dread. It's as if evil is lurking beneath the surface of the mundane. Henry uses its sound design to immerse the audience in a world of dread and psychological horror. The absence of a traditional score, the use of ambient sound and silence, and the strategic application of music and diegetic sounds all contribute to the film's ability to create an unsettling and deeply disturbing atmosphere. The sound design, in conjunction with the film's visuals and performances, make this again a masterclass in psychological horror. And lastly, pushing the limits of uncomfortable viewing. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, is a film that unapologetically pushes the limits of uncomfortable viewing. It stands as a chilling and unflinching exploration of the darkest corners of the human psyche, leaving a lasting impact on those who dare to watch it. The film achieves this in several ways. The standout performances, particularly by Michael Rooker and Tom Tolles, are pivotal in creating an atmosphere of discomfort. These actors bring their characters to life with chilling authenticity, and they are both captivating and deeply unsettling. The film's gritty documentary style like aesthetics contribute to the unsettling nature. The raw realism, absence of a musical score, and use of ambient sounds and silence all work in tandem to create a sense of dread and unease. Henry doesn't offer any resolution where evil is defeated. The film ends on a bleak and open note, leaving the audience without the reassurance of justice being served. This narrative adds to the feeling of discomfort, emphasizing the unpredictability of horror, of real life horror. The film does not rely on supernatural elements or elaborate backstories to explain its antagonist's actions. Instead, it delves into the psychology of its characters, offering a disturbing glimpse into the mind of a psychopath. The lack of clear motivation for the violence portrayed leaves the audience with a sense of unease. The film's sound design, marked by silence and ambient sound and occasional eerie music, enhances the dread. It immerses the audience in the disturbing world of the characters and makes them feel like voyeurs witnessing real events. This is not a film for the faint of heart. It forces viewers to confront the darkest aspects of humanity, transcending traditional horror conventions and pushing the darkest aspects of humanity. It pushes the boundaries of what is considered comfortable viewing. It's a testament to the power of cinema to delve into the most uncomfortable and unsettling facets of the human experience, leaving an indelible mark on the audience. This film, in all its discomfort, serves as a reminder of the enduring power of psychological horror in the world of cinema. I rate this film a 7.5 out of 10 for its raw power and impact as a truly disturbing and unforgettable film. Thank you for joining me on this extended exploration of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. It's a film that unflinchingly dives into the darkest corners of the human psyche, a character driven exploration of a mind devoid of empathy. The film transcends all of the traditional horrors to become an unforgettable cinematic journey, an exploration of the most chilling aspects of humanity. Whether you watch it for the raw power of its storytelling, the compelling yet unsettling performances, or the unsettling atmosphere, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, will undoubtedly leave a lasting impression, serving as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within us all. And that's it for today's episode of Real Talk. Thank you for joining me. And remember, the world of cinema is vast and diverse with something for everyone, even if it takes you to the darkest corners of human nature. If you have any thoughts, questions, or suggestions for future episodes, feel free to email me at therealrealtalk@gmail.com. Again, that's therealrealtalk@gmail.com. And tune in for our next episode dropping on Halloween, where we'll be discussing the 1981 film The Burning. Until then, happy watching. This is Real Talk signing out.